What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Frank Smith. Fury demands too much money for the Usyk fight. Saudis wouldn't pay, says Frank Smith. Frank Smith of Matchroom Boxing says Tyson Fury demanded too much money from the Saudis for the Alexander Usyk Undisputed Heavyweight Championship on April 29th. Smith notes that Usyk reached a deal with the Saudis on his side, but when it came down to Fury's side, he asked for a substantial amount of money that didn't make sense for the Saudis. As a result, the Fury versus Usyk fight will not happen in the Middle East, and there are serious doubts about whether it will happen in London, England, at Wembley Stadium. Smith says that if the fight is going to happen on April 29th, they've got to come to an agreement in this next week because there's simply not enough time to do a fight of that magnitude in less than 10 weeks of preparation. Should Fury try revisiting Saudi talks, it's unclear if it's too late for Fury's promoters to go back to the Saudis and ask for the price that they're willing to agree to. Yeah, it would look like Fury would be slinking back, but it's better to do that than to strike out on yet another mega fight after he just blew the deal with Anthony Joshua fight last November by setting bizarre deadlines and then not doing the same thing for the journeyman Derek Chisora or Dillian White. Even if Fury has to do a little groveling with the Saudis, it won't be the end of the world if he's willing to forget about his pride and focus on making money. If what the Saudis were offering still pays more than what Fury would have made in England, why on earth would he reject that? I don't personally see, quote, I don't personally see, and I might be wrong, and this isn't me saying I don't want it to happen. I just don't see a fight of that magnitude. It's a massive fight. Undisputed heavyweight championship of the world has to be given the right build-up that it deserves for that type of fight. We don't see it very often, said Frank Smith to Boxing UK. He said, I don't see how that happens in the next 10 weeks, in my opinion. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I have my views about what happened in Saudi. It might be difficult to make it happen. Maybe they might pull it out of the bag in the next week, but I think next week is the most important time to get it up and running because of the show of that size. You can't wait until much later. Okay. We know that Usyk has agreed the Saudi Arabia deal. But, you know, when you look at Tyson Fury, this is another person has said this. At first, you know, it was rumored that it was because of some stadium issue. Now, keep in mind, for all the Fury fans out there, this is Frank Smith from Matchroom, right? This is Frank Smith. He could be saying it and you guys could agree with it, right? Or argue that maybe Frank Smith is saying that because he doesn't want this fight to happen because of the Joshua situation. And, you know, and he doesn't really want his rival, you know, Queensberry promotional company coming through with one of the biggest deals yet. You could say that. You could say he's just bitter. But then again, he's not the only one saying that. He is another person saying the same thing about Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson Fury himself hasn't said anything publicly about the Saudi deal, but his father has. So you have John Fury saying exactly what Frank Smith is saying. So you're like, okay, well, both of you guys are saying the same thing. Now, I would get maybe, just maybe, we would have a situation where Frank Smith actually got the information from John, you know, and then this is where he's getting it, the source from. But it's from if it's from a different source, well, that's apparent that Tyson Fury wanted more money. You know, I'm just waiting for confirmation for Tyson to say, hey, you know what? You know, I wanted more money and they didn't want to abide to my liking and my, or my demands. So I'm better than that. But then again, if John Fury said it, he pretty much speaks for what Tyson Fury already told him. Because if it was untrue, Tyson Fury would have told you so. You know what I mean? I've never seen John Fury to say something like that business-wise, because he wasn't specific. He wasn't like, Tyson asked for $80 million and they wouldn't give it to him. You know what I mean? But then again, we don't even know how much was offered. So nothing definite or specific is being thrown around. We just know, here's the word around the campfire, that Tyson asked for too much money. And if he asked for too much money and then they told him no, then he told them where to go, or better yet, where he's going to go. I think it's safe to say now you have two people saying the same thing, then it all does. Well, no, actually, the third, because I just remembered Derek Chisora. So you had John Fury, Derek Chisora, now Frank Smith. Now they're all saying the same shit about Tyson Fury. So, based on what we know or what we have heard, I don't see this fight happening. And I hate to say that because I want to see that fight happen. I want to see Usyk show how good of a boxer he is versus Tyson Fury to show how good of a boxer he is. But when you start dealing with stuff of ego, attitude, personality, greed, you know what I mean? When you get to that mindset where you're like Kenny Powers and nobody can tell you shit, and you're bigger than the world and this, that, and the other, and you're really, one fight away from losing it all anyway. Because I think Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury understands something about Tyson. Tyson is just now being accepted by the British fans. You guys remember that, right? See, people forget shit very easy. What happened in the last few years? Tyson beat Deontay Wilder. Tyson got a statue of him beating Deontay Wilder. Then Anthony Joshua got controversial because he said something about Black Lives Matter, like he's some type of white guy or something. Anthony Joshua is black. So why wouldn't he say something about Black Lives Matter? I don't have an opinion in the matter. But then again, why am I getting pissed at someone else that does? So a lot of people turned their back on AJ at that time. So a lot of Fury fans turned away from AJ, or the people that turned away from AJ to become Tyson Fury fans. Okay, so, and then right after that, Tyson Fury had Travelers Lives Matter. I'm like, okay, well, shit, go figure. You know what I mean? No one said shit about that, though. So I thought that was rather strange. However, once you're dealing with Tyson Fury and Fury's fighting over here because he felt that the British public turned their back on him. Remember that? I'll stay over here and this, that, and the other. You guys remember that, right? Okay, there you go. So a lot of British fans, according to Tyson Fury, turned their back on him. So he's just now getting open and welcome in open arms. So, all of a sudden, since this has happened, now he's being welcomed in open arms, and now he wants everything that Anthony Joshua had, probably plus more. Who knows? But I say to Tyson Fury, slow down. That will come. I think, humbling yourself is better than anything else, because it looks bad on Tyson Fury. Like Frank Smith said, and I do agree with, if he can't get another huge fight done, and this is the second time in a row that you couldn't get a big fight done. And it's really more than that. This is like the fourth attempt on two different people. One with Joshua, one with Usyk. One with Joshua, now again with Usyk. So you're looking at it. Two failed attempts back to back with the two same opponents that you couldn't get them in the ring. That really raises a red flag, and that makes people really scratch their head about your legitimacy as being the best, or how bad you really want the fight. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Frank Smith saying that Tyson Fury asked for too much money, the third person to witness or to testify against Tyson Fury being too greedy. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!